Hello there. Thank you for tuning in to watch our Engineering 360 video. Today we will be taking a look at how we created an ERP system using a Dimpier for a bicycle manufacturing company. Let's go ahead and get started. The first task in this process was to configure the company. In order to do so, we had to enter in through the system of a Dimpier and set up a new client. Now, to make sure that we have correctly configured this client, we need to log in using that client name. So we just use the user ID admin. Admin is the password. We go in. We can see that our company name appears, Bicycle. So we go into this client, and now to make sure that our address and logo were correctly put in, we can go to System Admin, Organization Rules, open up our organization. We can click on our organization and go to Info, and we can see that the address that we put in is correct, our client name is correct, and if we go to our logo, we can see that we also have the correct logo that were created for this company. So it looks as if everything is correctly configured for the company.
And for our chart of accounts, we selected the Accounting US template in the Dimpier toolkits, and we changed some of the titles in our columns, but basically it's the same chart of accounts. We imported it to our Dimpier software, and as we can see here in our accounting setup, we go to our schema and we can see our chart of accounts is linked to our accounting schema. And now let's take a look at our product. We go to product and let's look at a specific product. Let's select the frame. So let's take a look at the frame, and as we can see, it has hooks to manufacturing and it's directly linked to our chart of accounts using the US dollar currency from our accounting schema.
For this project, we were supposed to set up at least 2 clients that we would receive our parts from. So to show that we have done this, if we go to Partner Relations and Business Partner Rules, we can open up our business partners. We'll just do a wildcard. And if we collapse the view, we can see all of the vendors we have, and that's the first 5 business partners. So we have Appalachian Steel, Rubber United, Customized Cushion Corporation, Lowe's, and GT Bicycles. And if we go down to vendor, it shows further information for each of our vendors. For example, this is Appalachian Steel Company, so we can see their search key. You can see it's checked off that they are a vendor, and if you go over, you can see that it's connected to the chart of accounts, and all the accounting is also connected to this. And these are also connected to supplier parts, all of the 5 vendors that we have. So if we go to Material Management, and then we go to Material Management Rules, we can go to Product. Again, we'll just do a wildcard. We can collapse this view, and then for each, so for instance for the adjustable bike, we can go to Business Partner and see that we're getting the adjustable seat from Customized Cushion Corporation. And for more purchasing information, we can see that we're getting it from them. It's costing us $535, and that price was effective on May 7th. We can see that we have to order at least 25. The promised delivery time is 5 days, and it costs $150 per order. So all of our different products are all connected to our suppliers as shown. So for any one of these that we clicked on, we could see which supplier is providing us with that part.
So now we're going to look at the company customers, the types of products that we're going to be making for these customers, and how much they're going to cost. So we're going to go into the Partner Relations tab and open up the Business Partner subtab. And when we go into this Business Partner subtab, we are going to see we have 5 customers: Bicycle Inc., Haro Bikes, Specialized, Schwinn, Giant, that we are going to be making our products for. If we click on one of these and go and look at Customer tab, we can see that we are invoicing them immediately. They are being billed a standard price, and they are going to be they are going to be delivered their products. So following that, we also need to look at the material management side and go in this price list subtab. And we go in this price list subtab, we can see that we are making 3 products for each of these 5 clients. We have a mountain bike, which is list price of $210.59. Road bike, $199.99. These are our list prices. And a BMX bike of $230.99. We also have the standard price and limit price included into this list.
For our employees, we can take a look at our business partners. We have Lindsay, Gabriel, and Curtis, which are, the 3 of us are employees, and then we have 2 additional employees. And now let's take a look at one of our employees. Let's take a look at Lindsay Collins. Her address is available, her phone number. She is a member of the bicycle company, and as we can also see her email contact. She's the vice president of sales, and her payroll will be linked to the chart of accounts, as we can see here.
Now we're going to look at the bill of materials. If we go into material management and we click on product, we can again see the whole list of products for all of the different things that we're going to be manufacturing. So this isn't just the high level products, but also the sub-products. So if we click on one of our products, say the BMX bike, and we click on the BOM, the bill of materials, we can see a list of all of the materials that we're going to need to make that. So we can see that we have the brake pads, the handlebars, etc. And we can also see the quantity that we need for each of those. So for instance, we're going to need 2 brake pads. We know we are going to need gears. We could see how many of those. We're going to need 6. And this also ties in with our operations and routing, because this tells us which products need to go to specific warehouses, so we know that if the operation of a work center is to create a BMX bike, then we know which products need to be routed to that work center to do so.
In order to manufacture our 3 products, we have to have 3 separate locations with their own assigned operations. We're going to go into the Warehouse and Locators subtab. We click on it and we can see that here's a name, Road Bikes. Its description is manufacture and store road bikes, and it has its own location, Rainforest Drive, Duncan, North Carolina. Look at our other 2 products, BMX bikes. It also has its own location for work center and at this address, and as well as our mountain bikes has its own separate address, which description is manufacture and store mountain bikes.
Now let's take a look at our physical inventory. In our physical inventory, we have our final products. Just an example, our final products are shown: our BMX bike, road bike, and mountain bike. And to take a look at how much we have in inventory, right now we have 50 on inventory for our road bikes, and it's located in aisle 1, bin 2, level 6. And now let's take a look at how we receive our products from our suppliers. So first of all, let's take a look at the price of some of the parts we're purchasing, and we go here. So we select, let's for example look at the bike frame. So as we can see, the price of the bike frame is specified. We get the standard price of $20, and now we go and recreate a purchase order. So this purchase order was already done, and as we can see, the document type is a purchase order. Our business partner is Appalachian Steel Company. We have our contact from that company. The invoice location, the invoice contact, and the warehouse is going to be stored. And this specific requisition is requested by one of our employees, Carl Donahue, and the total amount to pay is $9,475. And we can change if we want it on credit, cash, check, mixed, or credit card. So for this example, we want it on check. And once you click complete, the goods are sent and they will be received, and there will be an invoice for the specific product, and we can verify this by looking at our warehouse inventory. So as you can see, it was completed, document status completed, and our requisition went through.
So now we're going to look at our invoice from our suppliers to look at the parts that we have to buy from our vendors to create our products. So we're going to go into invoice vendor, and in this invoice line we can see that our product has changed that we're buying from the vendor, and we want $1,100 at a price of $17.50. The line amount is $19,250. Go into the invoice, our vendor, we can see our vendor is Lowe's, the standard price. And once we want to complete this invoice, we just hit the complete button.
So now we're going to look at how a custom order is made. So what you want to do is go into sales order, and we can see a sales order that I've already created. This is going to be ordered by our customer Haro Bikes. We can see where they're located, the contact for that. It's going to be shipped out of the Mountain Bikes warehouse. They're going to pay with credit card, we can see that. And if you go to the order line, we can see what they want, and so they want to get mountain bikes. We can see that they want 30 of them at $220, but they are only going to have to pay $210, so we can see the discount that they get. And down here we can see the total they're going to have to pay. And complete that, and then we go to order transactions. We can do a range of dates and see all the orders that have happened. So we can see order 80001, which we just did. We can see all the information that it was for Haro Bikes, our location and contact. We can see that it was shipped to the warehouse and that the customer has in fact been invoiced.
And for our production line, it's actually a really complex process. We have to go to manufacturing management setup. We pull this out, and we start with the manufacturing flow setup. We select a resource, so here it's bicycle parts. Once that is done, we go to warehouse and locators. I already put in all the information to explain this briefly. We describe what we're going to do: manufacture and store BMX bikes. The source of the warehouse will be the BMX bikes warehouse. Then our manufacturing resource would be BMX bike production. We want to produce bikes, and the user who's allowing this is Gabriel, one of the employees in the company. And the production line, we want it to be a manufacturing production line. We select if there's going to be any queuing time or waiting time, and then we proceed to the final one, which we start by selecting the manufacturing workflow. So here we select workflow type manufacturing activity, we describe that we're going to produce BMX bikes, the cost, the yield, the setup time, the queuing time. We proceed to products. We want to produce BMX bikes with a sequence, the quantity, if we are subcontracting or not. And then we go to the tools section. We select a production node, and here, save this. And now we need to define an asset, which would be all the parts that we're getting from our suppliers, all our assets. And this is how the production line works.
So now we're going to look at our MPS and MRP and how it relates to producing our BMX bikes. So as we can see, the setup cost is $500, and in here you can put in your setup time, yield percent, duration limit is 240, and here we can see the product is BMX bike, quantity of 650 that we're making, and we are going to look at also, this is set up so when we have a minimum level of inventory, and once it gets below 50, we need to replenish it, reorder below the minimum level, and we have a maximum level of 200.
Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you enjoyed.